Hi, this is Kendra back with True Us TV, and I'm back with another video, guys. I wanted to do this a discussion on masculinity. I was watching a video with a YouTuber who I love and adore, and is Sunday. Sunday Love. I think she does YouTube and a lot of anime content, not anime, a lot of Japanese content. She cool bees. But anyway, I was watching her with another female who was half Japanese, and the girl who was half Japanese said something that just sparked my mind to just do a video. And she said she don't like good men, she like masculine men. So this prompted, I went on a tyrant, like this, a mental food for thought. Okay, let me just say this. I don't know when masculinity became negative and a bad thing. I don't know when masculinity became evil. I don't know who placed it in our minds to think that masculinity is a evil thing. Let me explain something to y'all, female and men. There is nothing evil about masculinity. Masculinity provides and protects and is logic and is loving. That's first and foremost. But secondly, I want to delve into this topic a little bit because I hear people say this a lot about masculinity, and I don't understand how is this so. Because to be honest, the most wicked men in the world, and I don't care whether he's a dictator, a president, a leader, or a king, the most evil men in the world are not even masculine men. As a matter of fact, I've never met a masculine man that was evil. The most wickedest men are the ones who are effeminate. They are driven by their emotion, and everything they do is driven by that, whether it be jealousy, anger, bitterness, scorn. Those are the most wicked men. A masculine man, Jesus Christ, has never been wicked. It is the effeminate men, the Pharisees, who are led by and driven by their emotions that make them do evil. And I'm talking about your dictators. I'm talking about your leaders. I'm talking about your presidents and your kings. Most of those men who do wicked things are far from masculine. They lazy. And yes, I'm talking about even the ones with million. That's why they don't work. They become millionaires, so they ain't got to do nothing. Okay? They're driven by their emotions. Right? That's what the anger, the bitterness is. They driven and heights. They want to be the top girl of the bunch. You know, I want to be the top guy. You know what I mean? They're driven and led by emotions. They plot, they scheme all the time, plotting and planning who they can bring down. That's effeminate. That's like a bunch of candy teenage girls sitting around thinking, oh, I'm going to take that girl man. Talking about this girl's shoes, talking about her hair. That's what these dictators and these evil men are like. They're like effeminate, they're like girls. They are not masculine. There's nothing masculine about a catty man. And I've never met a masculine man who is wicked. I'm certain that anybody could be evil. But what I'm saying is, most of these men who are evil are effeminate. They have effeminate nature. Okay? Very. And before y'all go, well, what about rapists? Rapists are very effeminate. They are the most effeminate of anybody. You can't even take a no. You so driven by your emotions, the emotion desire, right? You so driven by your desire, all led by your emotions, because us women, that's what we are led by mostly. You're so led by your emotion, your desire, that you go ahead and think you have entitlement to somebody else's body. They can't say no to you. They are the most effeminate. Why you think this effeminate culture and all LGBTQ is up in here like that, and the pedophile is on the list of the LGBTQP and all that community? It's effeminate spirit. That's the wicked spirit. People keep on trying to make masculinity seem like it's evil. No, masculinity, Jesus Christ was masculine. Ain't nothing effeminate about Jesus. Do you hear me? That's a masculine man. Do you hear me? He was loving, a protector, a provider. Man was a carpenter. You understand me? He saved lives. He was a healer. You understand? That was masculine. He provided food. He provided his acts of service, washed the feet of his disciples. He was healing the sick. And when he saw corruption, he created a whip and he whipped them out of that church. He was a provider, a protector. That's masculinity. So when y'all talking about masculine is bad, what the heck are you talking about? It is the effeminate. I'm not saying women are evil. I'm saying that effeminate spirit in a man is evil. Okay? That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with masculinity, and I don't care what society say. The problem is society don't want masculinity, because what does masculinity do? What I just said. It provides and it protects. So when you got a man who is covering his wife, he's creating communities of togetherness and longevity and stability. There it is. That's the word I was looking for. Stability. He marries women. He don't use them. Okay? Because a man who uses women, there's nothing masculine about that. He's driven off what? Emotions. Because he's trying to fulfill a void of his own masculinity in which he lacks. So what does he do? He fills himself with women, trying to fill that void with women of the masculinity that he's missing. So he think the more women he pull in, the more masculine he is. No, you're driven by your emotions, which is very feminine. That's what effeminate is. You get what I mean? So when y'all be out here talking about some of these men wicked, no, they wicked because they masculine. Or no, there it is. Toxic masculinity. There's no such thing. That's toxic. Again, I couldn't say the word. Effeminate. There it is. It's toxic, effeminate nature. That's what that is. There ain't nothing toxic about masculinity, and nothing ever will. A man that is manly, since when did being masculine mean that you a brute who has no respect and is nasty and disrespectful? Since when? Since when? Since a man led by his emotions decided that he didn't like no, and he didn't respect women, so he said to himself, this is what masculinity is. Masculinity is unapologetically being an asshole, unapologetically being a jerk, and no, you don't like women, you're in the He-Man woman haters club. Those red pill people, they think they masculine, them alphas who think they masculine with a whole bunch of effeminate nature. If you are driven by your emotions to now actively disrespect women based off your inferiority complex or your own insecurity, you are not logically thinking, which is a masculine trait, which means that you're now in your emotions, which is effeminate. So therefore, you cannot consider yourself masculine, because masculinity is nothing wrong with masculinity. It is not toxic. It is very kind. It is very loving, hardworking, determined, smart, and logic. I love masculine men. A masculine man has me every single time. I love a masculine man because they're always respectful. Those disrespectful men are great representation for effeminate men. And when they call themselves masculine, they're disrespecting all the real masculine men. The ones who don't behave like that. Y'all putting bad names on masculinity. Masculine, and then how does it now flip on its head? You know, when you're talking about a woman, how can you call a woman masculine? You get what I mean? When you be like, oh, because that's the crazy thing. If you ask a man what masculinity is, he'll tell you all the great attributes of masculinity, and he tries to associate it with himself, right? But then he flips it around on a woman and takes every trait that he see a woman do and make it negative. So how did you make masculinity on a woman a negative thing when masculinity in itself is not negative? So a woman who is independent, that is not a masculine trait. That is an everybody trait. Everybody needs independence. A child that weans from the breast of his mother needs independence. Everything on this earth, an unmarried woman needs independence. Her parents will not be around forever. If she only knows her parents' house and then goes from her parents' house to her husband's house, and not every woman gets married, how will she provide for herself? Everybody needs independence. It is not a masculine trait to be independent. It is a human need to be independent, period. What else do they say is masculine? Assertiveness. Now, to be too assertive for a woman can be unattractive. Nobody doubts that. But a woman also needs to have some form of assertion. Why? Because she needs to also protect herself. Also, a woman she raises children. She needs to assert herself as an authority figure to that child. Otherwise, the child will disrespect her. So having some form of an assertive personality is not a negative thing, unless it is overused in a wrong way. I do understand that cannot be good for a woman to be over assertive or aggressive. Aggression, again, there's nothing wrong with getting angry or having aggression. It is how it's used and when it is used. To protect yourself, there's nothing wrong with aggression, okay? But it is if you're in a relationship where that man does not pose a threat and that is just your demeanor. You get what I mean? You're going to need therapy to fix that. That's for the women, right? But other than that, I don't know how you turn and flip and call a woman masculine, because I get how a woman can be very masculine, I don't even want to call it masculine, because again, masculine is a really good thing to me. But I want to say that a woman who is, because men love. So I feel like that woman should just be called crazy, because if she has the inability to soften herself, to be more gentle. I don't even want to call her crazy. She just might be, there's a word for somebody like that, and I don't know what the word could be for somebody who has the inability to be soft, because you associate that with masculinity. That's wrong, because Jesus Christ was very masculine and he was a gentle man. You get what I mean? You don't hear that word gentleman for no reason. You know what I mean? And it's not a negative attribute. So, a woman, or even a woman with the inability to be soft due to her background or upbringing, she needs help. She needs therapy, and she ultimately needs God. Okay, period. Because that's childhood trauma that makes it so that you cannot be soft and express a soft way of being. Right? That has nothing to do with masculinity, because again, a masculine man, he protects, which means he's not just physically protecting. He protects his family, the woman that he's choosing to marry, emotionally. See, people always get caught up on a physical aspect of protection, but no, a masculine man he protects you not just physically, but emotionally. He's not going to allow you to call yourself fat, and he's not going to allow you to be fat. Okay, he's not going to allow you to stay in a state of despair or a state of insecurity. There was another word I'm looking for, but that's what came to my mind. You know what I mean? He's going to step in to encourage and promote that woman emotionally, right? And spiritually, and in every other way. That is masculinity to me. So I don't like when people try to make masculinity seem like something bad, But anyway, this is Kendra with her little spill on masculinity. If you agree or don't agree with my comment, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and post it down below. Any questions down below. And anyway, this is Kendra with Truest TV. Peace out.